Happy Monday to our YMCA team. I trust you all had a great weekend. I, for one, am glad we did not have a whole lot of rain. That also, however, meant that I spent a lot of time mowing the grass that had grown because of all the rain we did get. Anyway, I trust that as you're putting a bow on summer, you're beginning to set your eyes on your family time throughout the holidays, and it's not too early to start planning for your request time off for Thanksgiving and the Christmas holidays. Today we have Megan, who's going to tell us about her international experience related to teen work and some of the exciting things that are going on, not just around the world, but even here in the United States around youth voice. Megan?
Hi, my name is Megan Gerhart, and I am the Senior Program Director at Camp Ernst. And I am excited to share with all of you a little bit about my experience at the 19th World Council of the YMCAs in Chiang Mai, Thailand, about 1 month ago. The World Council brought together 1,300 people from 70 different countries to share stories of both struggle and inspiration all around the theme of youth empowerment for good. This conference was one of the most diverse that I've ever been able to attend, with general secretaries of the YMCA to part-time staff, board members, volunteers, youth, retirees, in culture, language, background. It was a real honor being able to learn and grow from all of these people throughout our time in Chiang Mai together. Through my involvement with the Emerging Global Leaders Institute with the YMCA of the USA, the Change Agents program, and with the support of the Cincinnati Y, I was blessed with the opportunity to be able to attend the conference. This picture is all of the change agents. So there were about 200 of us there, all in cohort 3 of the program. And we were, not only there to attend, but also take an active role in leading part of the conference. So some people helped to lead workshops, some were helping with the opening and closing ceremonies, and then the majority were helping to facilitate small groups throughout the week. So here is my small group for the week. We spent 3 hours every day together talking about the theme of youth empowerment and what that really means in our own communities, within our own YMCAs, the different challenges and struggles that we face. And a lot of our time was really learning about the 1 Million Voices Research Project and what we can take from this work that the World YMCA is doing. Being provided the time and space with people from other countries was really invaluable. I mean, my group, my co-facilitators, Elise from France and Vasil from Macedonia, and then we had people from Armenia, Tanzania, England and Wales, Japan, and the Netherlands, Hong Kong, Brazil, I mean, really all over the world. And that time and space really allowed us to get a good understanding that, while we all have very different challenges, there are a lot of common themes around youth empowerment and youth injustice that we're all facing. So as I mentioned, a lot of our time in our small group was talking about some of this research that the World YMCA has been doing. And so I would love to take a little bit of time to go over some of the preliminary results that they shared with us while we were there. So this is from the 1 Million Voices 2 research that the YMCA conducted with young people from 25 different countries, ages 17 to 20. So this is a little bit about what they kind of found out through this research. So the first one, good social relationships are crucial for personal happiness and well-being. We talked a lot about this one and how different factors affect these relationships between, like family issues and technology, and all these different things that play a role or are barriers to these social relationships for youth. The second one, education systems are not meeting their needs. Through this one, they found that really what young people need in education is more focus on practical skills, individual approaches, and more on mechanisms of personal protection and assistance. Number three, a good job should be a place for personal development and well being. Through their research, they found that a high salary is not the most important component for youth people when they're looking for work. Really, they want a career that's good for their well being and found that the risk of permanent stress and psychological pressure is not worth the professional career. That kind of goes into the fourth one as well of mental health is a rising health issue and depression is widespread in communities everywhere. We heard this in story after story of mental health and depression really impacting today's youth. The research found that close family members and friends are the most important people to relate to their mental health challenges. And so that really just circles back to the first point that we had talked about, the good social relationships. Number five, a healthy lifestyle is too commercialized, according to youth. Really, they just want a good facility that is affordable. The sixth one is that environmental campaigns have effectively raised awareness with youth. But despite personal environmental sensitivity, a lack of organized activities at the local level is the obstacle for environmental engagement. And that really feeds into number seven, too, of civic engagement at the local level provides more opportunities. So there, like, yes, youth will be involved in more national initiatives, but right now what they're seeking is something on a local level, something a little bit more easier for them to access at this point. And then number eight, generally young people prefer participatory and community oriented leadership. And so I think, as we're leading all of these youth, remembering these things is really important kind of as we move forward. So I want to just show this quick little video to kind of wrap up the research information.
You don't have this idea that you can change something. So it is about knowing that you have a voice. I'm not just a random person who came to the world and passed away without leaving a stamp on the world.
Sometimes you feel like you are invisible, that the older generations and other people in the society don't see you.
Most of us don't know what the community needs us to be. What are the needs in the community so that we can work on ourselves.
When young people in an attempt to seek a better future, in an attempt to develop, are restricted by so many barriers, language barrier, economic barrier.
I would like to have an environment which is secure for me and for my future generations.
We just don't have that compassion from our elders, from our leaders.
I really want to make a difference.
To have a voice.
So that is the challenge really from World Council is, are we going to listen and are we going to do something for our youth? Are we going to help them find a voice and help them feel empowered? So it's a lot of work to do, but the YMCA is in a great position to be able to help our youth do that and get involved and feel like that they can make an impact the way that they need to make an impact. So I would love to talk more with any of you about my experience at the World Council, about this research, about youth development and empowerment within our own communities and within our association. So please feel free to reach out and set up a time that we can do that. And I am leaving you with a couple photos from my time in Chiang Mai. Again, it was really just an honor and a pleasure to be there. And so I just thank you, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Megan. If any of you are interested in learning more about our work around the world, please feel free to reach out to Megan. I'm sure she'll be happy to fill you in. Also, if you have any interest in working internationally through the YMCA, please feel free to find out more information on how you can lend your skills and talents towards making our world a better place. Speaking of making our world a better place, this last week we all lost a hero. Unless you were under a rock, you did not know that Aretha Franklin passed away. And oddly, the week earlier, I had been spending some time listening to some of her music, and particularly spending some time thinking about the song R-E-S-P-E-C-T, the Respect song, where she does a masterful job reminding her significant other that he should respect her. And the context of that song was pretty substantial, because at that time, women were particularly not respected. And she used her platform to say to folks, listen, we should be respected not because of anything I did, but simply because of who I am. Now, respect is something maybe we don't think a lot about, or maybe in today's time and all the incivility that's going on, maybe it's been on the back of your mind, but been thinking a lot about what it means to show respect and be respectful. And there's a group of scientists that wrote an article that said, and it's a little lengthy, so bear with me, that respect may indeed be the glue that binds people together and holds together one's self-concept. Now make note of that statement, one's self-concept. If respect is akin to positive regard, it is the belief that enables one to value other people, institutions, and traditions. And disrespect may be the agent that dissolves relationships and fosters hostility and cynicism. All of the proceedings suggest to us that respect is essential to a civil society and crucial to positive human relationships. Disrespect may be one reason for incivility and polarization between individuals and between groups. Boy, does that sound like our times today. And so, like Aretha Franklin, there's a strong argument that perhaps what this world needs is a lot more respect. Now, this is not a new thing. One of the early writers in the New Testament, a guy by the name of Peter, wrote this: show proper respect to everyone, love your community, fear God, and honor the emperor. Well, that's a weird thing to say at the end, but let's disregard that and go up to the word respect, which means to give value to something, not because they earned it or because they suddenly have some use for you, but simply because they are. Now, I want to go back to the phrase earlier where I made note that respect starts with you, with me. In other words, showing respect to others requires us to be respectful of ourselves. I don't believe that it is possible to be respectful or to show respect or to give value to someone else if you don't first value yourself. So this week, I'd like for us to think about a couple of things. One of them is to think about how we might respect ourselves. Maybe there's some things that we've been thinking about starting for some time, and it's time to get off the couch and go and do that thing, whether it's getting fit or going to see a doctor or reading a book. Whatever it is, start by showing respect to your own self, and then practice showing respect to others. You're going to encounter all sorts of connections this week, both through your job, while you're driving, at the store. And those are all opportunities for us to say, I value you, just like I value myself. And I think that's why other writers have said that you should treat others the same way you treat yourself. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And so let's look for those opportunities to show respect and understand that disrespect erodes the very social connections that we have with our friends, and I think in some ways harms us as we practice to disrespect others. Let me pray for us. God, thank you so much for the opportunity that you give us to be part of an organization that focuses on making our world a better place. Thank you for the opportunity that you give us to be respectful towards others and to expect the same from them towards us. Thank you for those that serve with us in Southern Ohio, Northern Kentucky, around the country, and around the world at the organization that we call the YMCA. Amen. Thanks, everybody.